Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. JLR investigates with that breaking news. Come on in, everyone. A lot to talk about. Double murder, Frederick County, Maryland. Terrible tragedy occurred early Sunday morning. 33-year-old Crimea Baker, 34-year-old Sean Lange. They were brutally murdered inside their Frederick County home. And she's a mother of four, and those four children were also inside the home. It appears they witnessed or at least heard what was going on, and they were scared to death and they went and hid. Four children, 11, 10, 9, and a 7-month-old baby were in the house when this terrible, terrible, terrible murder occurred. Authorities gave a press conference just the other day. We played the press conference on our last live. Over 40 shots. Suspect out there, and a lot of people centered around this case have been reaching out to us. And they've been telling us a little bit about Mr. Turner here. David Turner. And David Turner is from Newark, Delaware. He has other ties. Different places. And a lot of people centered around the victim. Friends have reached out to us. And we're going to bring Magnolia in the chat because we're going to talk about David Turner. First glimpse of David Turner. Very hard to get any photos of him because there's almost like no social media presence on this guy. This guy doesn't like the internet very much. Found a lot more things on Mr. Lange here. This dude right here, the victim. Oh my goodness, this guy is like all into like martial arts and fighting and stuff like that. I got videos of this guy I'm going to show you. And he was a very, very extremely talented guy. Like literally he could do backflips and flips of flips and flips and flips and flips. Flexible in shape. She's career oriented. They both, I don't know when they got together, but they both got together. I believe the 7-month-old child was with these two victims. The 3 other children that Crimea had was with this guy, I believe, all 3. People are like, where was David Turner at the time of this crime? And where is he now? So we're going to bring Magnolia in the chat. And she's going to kind of explain, and we're going to guide each other and show all of you what we've learned since our last live. And we appreciate everyone reaching out to us. Tips at JLR Investigates. We like to know what in the world's going on. Authorities are very tight-lipped. Haven't been saying much. No new press conference. No new really media report. No new people are talking about this right now. We are. Because at the end of the day, you have probably the most vicious crime ever in Frederick County, Maryland. It's called Newmarket. Magnolia here. Hello, Magnolia.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Magnolia has ties from that area, as she shared the other day. Very safe community. They lived in they just bought the house recently. New house, new development. Safe area. And this couple here gets brutally murdered inside their home. So talk to me, Magnolia. What's up with the David Turner guy?
Yeah, it seems as though he is someone who he worked in IT. He's like an IT guy. We keep hearing that about a lot of these people lately, it seems like. But he's apparently very careful online with his presence online. He tries to evade responsibility a lot as well. So, for example, with Crimea, he had multiple restraining orders against him for domestic violence.
She had it against him, right? She had against him.
Mm-hmm. There were multiple restraining orders against him for domestic violence against her. And we talked about yesterday, he basically, he violated those over and over again, to the point where, you know, she had reached out for help when she made that GoFundMe asking, she was trying to raise money to get an attorney. So to combat some of the things that he was doing and putting her through, and she had to, the divorce and custody and all those things. So just to update everyone on that. So when we left off yesterday, we had just been talking about that GoFundMe where she said that she was trying to escape a domestic violence situation. So I was able to find the information on the divorce, and the divorce was granted. It was finalized April 1st, 2019, and she was awarded full custody of the kids, and he was ordered to pay child support. Now, after that, what I've been told by a few people is that he basically had this tendency where he would violate these orders, these protective orders, and try to get out of paying child support. And he even went so far as to move states. So he moved to Florida, I think, at some point too. And he would just try to move around and just to evade responsibility and get out of things, and go to great lengths to do it. So he also, it seems clear, he went to great lengths to keep himself off of social media as well.
His mom was also a public defender / lawyer at one point too.
Yes, and the mother,
which would be the grandparents to the 3 children on the father's side.
Yeah. So the mother, people have told us that she was instrumental in a lot of the things that he was putting Crimea through. I was told that his mother is actually the reason that Crimea was arrested. Remember in her GoFundMe, she mentioned that they were trying to get charges on her and things like that. So the mother was apparently instrumental in making that happen. But thankfully, she did win her divorce case and her custody and things like that. But he was not happy about the child support.
Oh, no, not at all. That's what we're told.
Yeah. And his history of violence against Crimea is it's pretty horrific. Some of the stuff I can't even really say, but some of it involved SA. He was very violent in front of the kids. The kids got used to it over time. They knew what to do when he was acting out, and they would hide. That's what they did. And it's really sad because they became accustomed to that type of lifestyle, and so just living in fear all the time, and now this thing happened. So something that one of Crimea's friends had kind of brought up to me was the fact that these murders, there were 42 gun shell casings at the scene. So the gun in question, according to the sheriff, was a .40 caliber weapon. So if you look up a .40 caliber weapon, it's a handgun. It's a small handgun. It's not that big. So you have to think about that, because the gun, in order to fire off 42 shots from a pistol, basically, that's going to take a lot of time, right? It's going to involve reloading over and over again.
That means
some people think there were 2 guns, possibly 2 perpetrators, in order to be able to fire off that many rounds. Or another scenario that someone had thought of was one of the things with David Turner that he would do with Crimea was almost like torture her, torment her, drag out her suffering as long as he could. And some people think that he may have first shot Sean in front of her just to add to her torture. And so some people think that this may have not necessarily been a quick thing where it's just like 42 shots all in succession. It could have been a situation that was dragged out for some length of time.
In the middle of the night. In the middle of the night.
Right. And yeah, I mean, if you just think about like a handgun firing off that many rounds, that takes some time, I would think.
People have been reaching out to us close to her, the victim, and every one that reached out is pointing the finger at this guy. Now we're not gonna say, hey, the police labeled him as a suspect. But if they were to label someone as a suspect, we're 99% confident it's going to be this guy. And just the amount of people that have been reaching out to us is very telling, Of course, he could be innocent. He could not be involved, but we decided to bring this out because of the track record already between these two prior incidents.
Yeah. So Barbie said that those magazines hold 10 to 12 rounds. So you're talking about at least four times that he would have to change the magazine out.
Or two people with two.
That's just not a quick thing. It's unbelievable. And I think that the reason the sheriff used those words that he used, where he said rage, is because of the number of bullets. And it was also at close range from what he said. So, just imagine shooting people that many times. You have to be completely enraged to do something like that. So I think that the number of rounds and all that stuff, and just as many as they recovered, made it clear to the police that this was rage.
So you have a guy, he has Delaware ties. They're in Frederick, Maryland. We shared about 2 to 3 hours, drive to get there, right? From where she used to live in Delaware with him in Newark, right? And this could be a crime where it originated from the state of Delaware, and an individual, maybe him, maybe not, traveled from Delaware, traveled through the state of Maryland, went in there in the middle of the night, committed the crime, and then took off. And maybe possibly went back to Delaware. Maybe even shot down to Florida.
Well, yeah, some people think that he might be on his way to Florida.
Down I-95.
Right.
Well,
so
he definitely would be in Florida by now.
Yeah, from Frederick to Daytona is 16 hours.
People said where the children, by the way. I read that the children are in the custody of the state.
Yeah, the kids are... One thing I can confirm is that the kids are not with David or any of his family or anyone else. The kids are safe, is what we're told. So they also had a dog named Oreo, and Oreo is also safe, apparently, with a neighbor, I believe. So they had a really cute dog named Oreo.
So it looks like the dog lived. So the 4 children and a dog.
Yeah.
But the children had to listen to this. They had to witness this. They went and hid for hours. And then the boy, I believe the youngest boy, or the youngest, the 9-year-old boy, is the one that found the mother and Sean in the bed dead.
Right.
I don't know what happened at that point. I'm still unclear who called the police. Maybe the kids ran out and told the neighbors. Maybe they made a call. Unsure. We're trying to get that 911 call. I already submitted a public records request with Frederick County to get that 911 call, because I want to hear who made the call. If 911, it could have been just called the dispatcher, just called straight directly to the sheriff's office too. So those things take time. It's processed. It could take a couple days, and they could deny it too. They could deny it.
Yeah, Michael had a good thought too. He said he wonders if the kids may have heard or recognized their dad's voice in the house. I know it was him. You know what I mean? It's possible that they could have heard him. And you said yesterday, what if they even saw him? So I don't know if they saw him. I think that's less likely just because it was the middle of the night. They would have been in bed, and they hid in a closet. So it doesn't seem like they actually saw him. But if he spoke or he said things to Sean and Crimea, then they may have heard him. And so the police may know for sure exactly what happened here. I think the reason that they're not putting it out as like be on the lookout, he's a suspect, etc., is we're told that David Turner is very unstable mentally. He's very unstable, and so they may worry that if they put him out there, maybe he'll take his own life, or he'll just be in the wind and they could lose him or something like that. But they definitely need to find him soon and talk to him and see what's going on here.
And say he did do it, right? Why would he fire so many shots? Well, maybe he also thought that Mr. Lange here, the victim, was a threat. Reason being, this guy's persona and profile is extreme physical fitness. I wouldn't want to be boxed in a corner with this guy right here. This dude has fighting videos. He can fight. He's flexible. He's built. I want to show you his Instagram. He was a fighter, folks. We're talking about a hardcore dude. You know what I mean? Like a dude that can fight. And, think about this. You're going to try to use guns instead of fists because you got pretty much no chance with this guy. Literally, this guy.
And while he's in bed asleep.
While he's in bed asleep. So you catch him in his bed sleep. This is him. Look at him. I mean, look what we're dealing with here. This is the victim. This is the victim, folks. This is Sean Lange. But it goes much crazier because the guy can do flips. The guy can flip in the air.
Yeah, you'd have to ambush him when he's got his guard down. So what better way than when you probably think they're sleeping,
This guy has inspirational videos. I don't know anything about him except the videos that are being shown. But he has all these fighting videos and self-defense videos. So, if you're gonna go into someone's house and do something, you're gonna mess with this guy? Like thinking you're gonna beat him in a fight? I don't think so. There's just so much more on him. This is the victim here. He's 34 years old. This is let me see if he does any flips. There's all types. Oh, here we go. What do we got? Whoa, look at that. That's real, folks. That's not fake. That's not fake.
Whoa.
He can do like literally 10 backflips at once. This is not fake, folks. Look at this. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. That's crazy. Look at that.
That's crazy, man. Just doing one backflip. So whoever did this, in my mind, it's like, they deemed him an extreme threat. And were seriously intimidated and was like, I'm going to make sure I eliminate that threat. Because if that threat gets a hold of him, in his own house, you are done. you are done.
I don't think there's many men who could go against that.
Look, I'm going to show you another one. I don't think any men can go against this. Now watch. This is crazy. You see that? That's like a triple.
Whoa.
It's crazy. So, I'm saying, and then also there's a video. There's all types of stuff on his Instagram. But he also has a gun on his Instagram. Or a stun gun or something.
What is that?
Looks like self-defense. He's in the Army.
Yeah. So you'd have to, like, to cause him harm, you would have to ambush him.
You would have to ambush him. There's no way you'd beat this guy one-on-one. This guy's in the 90, like literally the 99 percentile.
Right.
I mean, the guy's in the Army. The guy is physically fit. The guy can do multiple backflips, spins, kicks, fighting, boxing. I mean, his whole persona is like good health and physical fitness.
Unbelievable.
This is him. This is the victim, folks. Are you kidding me? I'd love to be able to do that. Oh my God, if I could do that, I would totally go to every suspect's home and be no fear whatsoever when calling out these suspects. If I could do that kind of flip and stuff like that, like, okay, you come at me. Come at me, criminals.
Yeah.
Right? I'd love to be able to do that. I mean, I was fast. I mean, I'm fast. I used to run 6-minute miles consistently, and do a bunch of burpees and everything like that, but not flips like that.
No.
That's like fast twitch. That's like skilled, discipline, warrior. And then I think he eats right too. I'm not necessarily eating right now. This is him. Sean Lange.
Yeah, and also another detail I forgot to mention. So there's also a history of David breaking into Crimea's home when she lived in Bowie, Maryland. And this was when he had the court orders. And apparently one of the times Crimea actually caught him in the act and recorded a video of him breaking in all the way back to 2017. So he broke into her house in Bowie multiple times, violating those orders and things like that. So he has a history of break-ins. He has a history of extreme violence towards her. We don't know where he is. And people think that his mother and or other members of the family may be assisting him.
My take is probably a combination of Sean coming into their life, playing father, stepfather to 3 other children, more, seems like better shape, fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just felt, what do I want to say, inferior in a sense. Like he felt like...
Yeah, he probably, I'm sure that there was a lot of jealousy and things like that. But it just seems clear that he's mentally unstable. He's got a history of doing this stuff. I mean, honestly, this is just another example of a case where why wasn't this guy locked up anyway? Like, why was he able to be on the street free and do this when he has a history of harming her and a history of breaking in, a history of violating restraining orders?
Well, that was in the past, though. That was the past.
Why wouldn't he be locked up?
Well, that was years ago. Now she's in a new relationship, as she posted on her social media, new life, new beginning, right? Maybe she even got with him to protect her from him. Maybe she chose this guy because he played the protector role. Maybe that's something they had in common on top of other things they could have had in common or they had in common. The fact that he's a fighter, served in the military. She had issues with him. Maybe she felt like he was the protector, the man of the house.
Yeah, and now the thing with Crimea, though, her relationships, one thing that I learned is, I don't want to speak ill of Sean, but what I will say is their relationship was kind of off and on over the last couple years.
Mm-hmm.
They were together. Yesterday, when I estimated that they were together for about a year and a half, was turns out to be accurate. She actually got pregnant very early into their relationship, very quickly, and he wasn't really there for her during that pregnancy, just to put it lightly. He was kind of like afraid of committing and different things like that, and he wanted her to support him financially when he retired from the Army and things like that. And he also has 2 kids himself, and so, you know, Crimea was looking at, he wanted her to support him with and the kids and all this, and she's already got 3 kids of her own at that point, with 1 on the way. And so their relationship was kind of off and on, and he wasn't really around a lot during. There was a period of time during the pregnancy when they actually broke up, and she kind of went through that pregnancy more or less on her own. So I guess over time, though, once the baby was born, they, you know, seemed to have solidified their relationship to the point that the police said that it appears that he had moved in there. So he was living there. And I think it was a recent move in. So it's just sad that a lot of the stories that I've been told is, you know, Crimea had trouble with men in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't think that anyone came close to what she went through with David Turner.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, a lot of videos out there of her playing with the kids, loving her kids. She had a lot of friends, it looks like. And, you know, Turner, it seems like, is just 100% bad news. And Turner seems like it was just a nightmare in her life. But it seems like the videos that I'm seeing is once she got away from Turner's, it looks like she was able to live her life more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The more freedom to be out there more. Yeah. And it looks like she had friends of all different, looks like she had friends of all different races and religions. And I mean, she just looked like she's liked people. Mm-hmm. Look, her friends' kids playing with her kids. Look at that. That's her friends' kids playing. I mean, this is something that's posted. They posted. Whoever posted this. So we're just sharing what's posted. My best friend. This is someone. My best friend was tragically taken from this world far too early. She was only 33 and left behind 4 beautiful children. She was courageous, hardworking, and full of laughter. You are an incredible mother who raised resilient, thoughtful, tender-hearted children. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, that's Jennifer Duncan. That's her best friend, and Jennifer is also the one who started the Give, Send, Go for her.
That's right here, the Give, Send, Go.
They were they considered each other sisters. They pretty much considered themselves sisters. They were that close. Now,
they raised almost $100K.
Yep.
$100,000 for these 4 kids. Now, this is the dog then, right?
Yeah, I think that's Oreo.
So this is the dog that was also there, Oreo. So now you have 4 children without a mother. And this case is not solved. And all we know is, folks, at this time is police, tight-lipped, sheriffs ain't speaking yet, and a bunch of people reaching out to us saying, Turner, Turner, Turner. Now, again, Turner could be all 100% innocent in this. But it's just, you know, Turner's history. The police need to be at least talking to him, and I'm sure they are. They might even be looking for him, and they're just not telling us, maybe because out of fear Turner might do some more harm.
Well, no, I don't think that they know where he is right now. That's what I'm getting from people. They seem to not know where he is, and you know, that's another thing that I thought about before is, you know, the mother of your 3 children was just murdered. Wouldn't you make a statement? Wouldn't you say some words about her life or something like that? I don't think anyone's heard a word from him. People don't know where he is. So I think they might truly actually be looking for him, like a manhunt situation. And I think at some point they will need to let the public know.
Look at Lang right here. I'm going to show you some other more crazy videos of him and his acrobatic stuff. He has a YouTube channel. I found his YouTube channel. It's called The Real Sean Lange. And it's nothing but like acrobatic and fighting stuff on here. Watch. Are you kidding me? Who can do that? Dude, that's something you would go to the beach and you would see somebody on the boardwalk just jumping around like that and people would pay to just to see. You know what I mean? Like, that's talent. That's straight. Look, are you kidding me?
Well, it's years of hard work and discipline.
Proper eating, flexibility. I mean, there's so many videos out him. Like, here's something at a football field. He's literally hopping on one leg when he's doing this.
Yeah, he's doing like one-legged backflips, basically.
Yeah, so much stuff on him, man. I mean, that's a loss of talent in a sense, you know?
Mm-hmm. I bet Crimea's kids probably thought he was like a superhero.
It looks like other people like watch him, you know what I mean? Like, whoa.
Yeah, there's all these people standing there watching him.
Incredible. And that's mad talent. Mad talent. Is there any other videos? They got all stuff since he was young. He was in the Army. Culinary in the Army. So you got workout videos. I can't play the mute because it's all in it. It's a whole thing is.
Just hold on a second. Just stop. Hold on.
Yeah.
I want to clarify something really quick. This is not the suspect.
No, that's not the suspect. He's the victim.
For people in the chat, this is not the suspect. This is the victim. This is the victim, Sean Lange.
It's the victim. He's 34, U.S. Army veteran, culinary chef, right? Culinary. I don't know what other type of business ventures he's in. He is the father of their youngest. He's the victim. We're showing the persona and what he does as far as the exercise and the flips and everything like that. And it might be explained why whoever did this crime inside a home was so vicious at this crime because, you know, again, you might go, whoever did this, I'm assuming that the target could have been him though, you know, because I mean, I don't know who the target is. I'm just saying when you're going in the house and murdering that guy, you're murdering someone that literally can hop and flip on their back leg 10 times in a row. A guy that can fight, a guy that has videos shooting guns. That's who you're going into their own house. That's a big deal.
Yeah, so he's a martial arts, you know, expert. He's like a chef in the military. He's a talented guy, and this is who Crimea had in her life, and it's being said that David Turner did not like this and probably was jealous. And we're showing these videos because he's very athletic. So anyone that's going to do something to him, the only way you're going to pull it off is if you ambush him. That's the only way.
One-on-one fight, you got no chance. None.
No.
You're gonna get demolished.
Well, even he's also a gun expert. So whether he uses his hands to fight or he's also highly trained with guns. So you're just not going to go in. You're not going to be able to really take this guy down unless you ambush him. And which is what happened. They were in bed in the middle of the night, 1:30 in the morning, and the suspect or suspects broke into the house and shot them in bed.
We played 2 news clips, but I know maybe some new people are on this case. some people that might not know about this case. This is a case out of Frederick. So I'm gonna play a couple of these news clips again. There's not much news clips. That's what's so crazy. There's some news reports, but clips as far as, boots on the ground there. I only see like 2 agencies there, news agencies that are actually there. Were there at the house. So let me just play 2 of them just to keep people up to speed.
I looked for new articles and stuff from today, and there's no new articles. Everything is from yesterday when this first started to break.
Here we go, folks. Here's one.
Tonight, a search for answers in Frederick County.
Actually, Magnolia, could you jump off the chat for a second, and then I'll call you right back? For some reason, when you're on, it goes lower. Thank you. Okay, so check this out, folks.
Tonight, a search for answers in Frederick County. A couple killed inside a home in what the sheriff calls a crime of rage. We're learning 4 children were inside and hid for hours. 7 News' Christian Flores is in the Newmarket neighborhood speaking to neighbors who are understandably shaken up.
Neighbors here are still in disbelief after learning the terrifying details in this double murder. And now they're left wondering about the children who survived but experienced such a traumatic incident.
It's just always been very quiet, very calm, very safe.
But this quiet community rocked by a double murder early Sunday morning, killing 33-year-old Crimea Baker and 34-year-old Sean Lange. Several neighbors told us they were distraught learning the details and did not want to speak on camera because they were scared. But one neighbor who asked to remain anonymous tells 7 News she remembers how she learned about this.
Someone contacted me and asked if I was okay, and I was very curious and concerned. Everybody's just completely horrified and shocked and saddened, too. It's just a very sad situation.
There were 4 children inside the home at the time of the shooting. They were not hurt, but they hid for hours until they felt safe to see what happened.
Clearly, it's a significant trauma and a significant loss to these kids, and their whole world's being turned upside down.
Based on what the children told us, that they hid in the house until morning, until they felt safe to try to figure out what had happened.
Sheriff Chuck Jenkins says he and detectives are also shaken by this crime.
This was really a heinous, targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger. This is a type of crime that shocks the conscience of everyone in Frederick County.
Jenkins says this was a targeted shooting.
This was clearly a rage killing by an angry, enraged person. There were 42 rounds fired at or into the victims at close range.
Now, social services is working with the 4 children who are top of mind for the community.
I can't imagine what's going through their minds. One of the children discovered his mother and the gentleman in the bed dead at the time. So I can only say that their life is just destroyed. It's upside down right now.
I'm a therapist and I work with kids, so it breaks my heart to think of the trauma that they must have witnessed and experienced. And my hope is that they all end up in a place where they can get the help that they need.
Sheriff Jenkins reiterated multiple times he does not believe there's any danger to the public. He also says that there are multiple law enforcement agencies working on this investigation. In Frederick County, Maryland, Christian Flores, 7 News.
Now, did you hear the last statement? Multiple law enforcement agencies working on this. So it doesn't seem like it's just the Frederick County sheriffs. Multiple law enforcement agencies. We talking about out-of-state law enforcement agencies? Are we talking about FBI, state police? Are we talking about, they have an idea who did this? This one was pretty interesting,
We're also
too.
following breaking news in Frederick County, Maryland. In just the last 2 hours, investigators revealed a couple was found dead inside of a Newmarket home after being fired at more than 40 times. This all happened Sunday morning on Mandalong Court. Our Rafael Sanchez Cruz is there live. And Rafa, we know children were also found inside the home, and they were put through hours of just complete terror.
Yeah, Simone, 4 children were inside the home, according to investigators. Luckily, they are safe, but they're calling this a crime of anger and rage. So this double homicide happened around 1:30 Sunday morning, but the sheriff's office didn't arrive here until around 7 in the morning. Why the delay? They said the 4 kids that were inside the home were hiding for over 5.5 hours, and they called 911 when they felt it was safe to come out. We're up on a hill where you can see the backside of the home, and and neighbors say investigators spent a lot of time in this backyard. The two victims have been identified as 33-year-old Crimea Baker and 34-year-old Sean Lange of Arlington. Both lived in this home and were found dead in their bed. The sheriff's office says Baker is the mother of the 4 children and Lange is the father of one of those children. The oldest is 13, according to authorities. Neighbors say the youngest is a baby, not even a year old. All the children were found unharmed. Investigators say this was not a murder-suicide case. They say both victims were shot at a close range. Sheriff Chuck Jenkins says he's not seen a case like this in Frederick County.
This was really a heinous targeted double murder, a crime of rage and anger. This is the type of crime that shocks the conscience of everyone in Frederick County. There's absolutely no reason, and let me repeat, absolutely no reason to believe that there's any further risk to the public or any threat to the public at large. And I want to assure the public today that we're doing everything we can. We have every available investigator, every agency resource we're going to put into this until the person or persons responsible are identified, arrested, and brought to justice.
I believe him.
Now, Sheriff Jenkins did not want to answer whether there was a break-in before the shooting. He also did not want to comment on where the children are actually staying. Of course, we're talking about minors. Now, he's saying he's looking into all possibilities in this case, including whether it might be drug-related. There's still no description about possible suspects in this case. And I know he mentioned that there's no threat to the community, but I've been speaking to neighbors. They say they have been on edge since Sunday morning because they were trying to figure out what happened. They're talking about a massive crime scene that they woke up to. I'm live in Newmarket. Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA.
Good reporter. I like that guy. So they put out, the only thing I heard in the last 24 hours was an additional statement by the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. We're asking for the public assistance. If you live in the surrounding area of the 7,000 block of Mandalong Court in Newmarket and have surveillance video, and look at the time, from 11 p.m. Saturday, look at this. So they're to 3 a.m. Sunday. Now that's interesting because they said earlier that this crime happened at what, 1:30? So now they're pushing back the time to the day before, the night before, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Sunday, the 25th. That could be helpful in the murder investigations of Crimea Baker and Sean Lange. Please contact FCSO Detective Reese immediately. 301-600-3640. So do they suspect that whoever did this arrived to the house around 11 p.m. on Saturday to do this crime and was maybe in the house for an extended period of time, 3 a.m.? Because they actually, that's a 4-hour window. That's a 4-hour window. They want to know surveillance. So maybe they have other evidence and they just want to make sure they get the vehicle. It's assuming they think a vehicle came in. Let's get Magnolia back in the chat. Now that's some new information. They put that yesterday. So that was additional information. Melissa South, thank you. What state did this happen in? It happened in Frederick, Maryland. Magnolia.
Yeah, so on the update that you just showed from the sheriff's office,
Yes.
so I was actually told earlier today that the authorities have actually expanded that time frame. So they've been going to the neighbors' homes door to door asking for video. And now, since that post was put out, they've expanded that time frame to include the days leading up to the murder. So I guess that means they want to see if
all day
the suspect was captured, maybe casing the joint or something like that, like staking out the place, or and then there's a lot of people who walk in the neighborhood. There's a lot of people that generally walk around, and so they're going door to door asking for help. So
well, Magnolia,
I think it's interesting they expanded that.
What about if this man here, Mr. Turner, wasn't the guy, right? And everyone's just thinks it's him because of his prior issues with her, his arrest for DV, and it could have been just a
group of people looking to home invade a house happen to go into a house and meet up with this guy, right? We already showed videos of this guy and like, uh-oh, we got the wrong house. We messed with the wrong dude. You know what I mean? This guy maybe fought back and then they just started blasting. Maybe they thought they were going to go into just some random house and be able to just victimize some random couple or random home and try to get whatever they can get, and just met up with this guy.
No,
You don't think
that's
so?
not what happened. The police said that it was targeted.
Okay.
It was not a random
All right.
person.
Well, I'm saying some theories and speculation here.
It's someone who knew them, who had a personal vendetta against them.
The police,
So-
the sheriff did say, the community, there's no threat. No threat. But at the same time, was asked if there's any suspects, and he said, we don't have any suspects. We don't have anybody that we know of that could have done this. He said that in the press conference. Were
Yeah,
they
they
playing
also
coy?
told us. They also told us for 8 weeks they had no suspects in the Moscow 4 case, and then they arrested Brian Koberger. So,
Great point.
take it with a grain of salt when they say that. When they say they don't have a suspect, they don't want to put all their info out there because they don't want to tip him off. They don't want him to know that they're onto him, because that sort of doing it that way sort of buys them a little bit more time, and so, but I do think though at a certain point they will need to let the public know, especially if they're not able to find him soon. It's already Thursday. It's already been 4 days. So
Maybe they'll do that after this segment here, when they know the cat is out of the bag.
yeah.
This
I
Sean
would think so.
Sean the victim actually has a backstage, and I was looking at backstage. I thought it was Backpage when I first saw this. I'm like, oh, Backpage, that's kind of like an escort kind of place, but it's actually called Backstage. And he actually has a profile here: professional military chef, actor, male. And it's saying that he's 5'6", 155 pounds, athletic toned, black, brown, 25 to 35. And here's some photos of him just to show you guys. So apparently he's an actor too.
Yeah, I think that's Backstage is like a talent page where talent signs up to try to get acting gigs and things like that.
You think he had a key? Or, I mean, we're talking about whoever the perpetrator is. Look at that. Breakdancing. That's hard to even do yourself. I can't even go up on one hand, doing like that. Can you? I can. Can anyone in the chat do this? Can anyone in the chat do this? That's hard.
Yeah.
What I want to do is, the most common sense is what we've been running with, prime suspect based off people. But I always want to leave no stone unturned until the situation is resolved.
Mm-hmm.
And, are authorities thinking it's somebody else? I mean, for me, if I was a betting man and, I had a bet, and I don't bet, I don't go to Vegas, I don't know if any of you guys are betting, I would say him.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
Yeah,
him.
he's definitely
Somebody
the prime suspect.
he's definitely somebody that if he didn't do it, authorities might at this time say, hey, he didn't do it, and clear him.
Yeah, a history of violence against her, a history of breaking into her house. So it's not rocket science.
It's not at all. So where is he? Where's his family? How come his family is not speaking out? Remember, or maybe they're, I don't know. His mom's a lawyer. Maybe his mom told him to lawyer up. Maybe the mom got him a lawyer and they're negotiating something right now. Maybe the authorities are trying to interrogate him and he's lawyering up. And they got to go through that aspect.
Yeah, someone asked about what did he do, David Turner, what did he do for a living? So we really just know, generally speaking, he worked in IT.
He, as far as like Truth Finder, he has all his information scrapped.
Mhm.
It's not in there. I mean, his mom's in there, and I believe a sister, a couple years older, with the same last name, is listed, but he's not. I can't find anything on him except the information that was provided to us by friends of her, telling us.
Well, he's been verified though.
He isn't, but he's not in Truth Finder.
And that's how I saw all of his. That was how I knew about all of his violating the protective orders and the second degree assault charges and all that stuff. So he does come up in there. But one thing you can do with your information, so you can actually remove yourself from these public databases like Been Verified, Instant Checkmate, Truth Finder, and it's not really hard to do. You just go in there and you just remove yourself. So it's possible he removed himself from Truth Finder and some of these other services, but not all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like he wants to be kind of like a private guy. Or he doesn't want to be known. Again, we have 2 photographs of him. If you have more photographs or anything you want to share with us in reference to this guy, we would love to learn more. We would love to learn more what's up. If we are wrong about this assessment, would love to hear your assessment and your whatever you have. Please send us an email at tips@JLR-investigate-something, or anything that can help get the information out to help, anything. We would love to hear from you. And of course, if you have critical information, go to law enforcement.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to be working aggressively to solve this case. And like you said, there's multiple law enforcement agencies working this case. So definitely, if anyone has information, you should contact Frederick County Sheriff's Office immediately.
And we'll be on it. We'll continue to cover it. And if anything else breaks on this case, an arrest, any information that will help find out who the killer is, killer, we'll share it on JLR Investigate. So if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button. Anything else to add, Magnolia?
Not at this time, no.
No, we're on it though, so we'll follow this case as soon as a suspect gets identified, arrest, mug shots, any type of information that can come out and help. We're on it. We're praying for this family, praying for the friends. It's terrible. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, you're supposed to be safe in your own sanctuary. Your home is your kingdom. You work hard to build your home and a family, raise a family, and someone coming right into your home and destroying your entire life because it's multiple people affiliated with them that are affected. The kids are going to be forever affected, traumatized. Who knows what the kids are going through right now mentally. They lost their mom because
what they've already been through.
And what they've already been through, were like we said, like they were known to hide before from other DV incidents that he did on her. Scary, folks. Lock your doors at night. Stay vigilant. I can't imagine. We covered the Moscow, Idaho 4 case. Someone went right into the house in the middle of the night, killed 4 college students. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
mean, it can happen to any of us, regardless if it's a domestic issue or just a rando going into someone's home and just, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that case up there in Connecticut with those 2 guys that busted into the family's home and literally tortured them. It's just scary. The family, it's horrible, and these crazy incidents happen.
Lana, Oreo is the name of their dog, the family, Crimea's dog.
Have your guns next to you in your drawer or under your bed or something, Stay vigilant, my friends. We'll talk soon. Thanks for watching this particular segment. JLR Magnolia Investigates.
All right. See y'all later.
We cover true crime 24/7, 365. Anything else breaks, you'll hear it here on JLR Investigates. Have a good day, everyone. Be safe.